Let's see. Did it do it? Let's see. Hey. Yes. Hey. You all, I love technology. Wow. Okay, so I'm doing a thing. Yes. Okay. Hi. um, let me know if you can hear me okay. So this is Expansions with me. I'm Jane, for those of you that don't know me. And I am super duper excited and happy and grateful to be on here and to be on this new platform. Hey, Mama Jane, I can see you on here. Yay! So, Promise Resource Network is now streaming this on Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live. So, as you comment either on Facebook or YouTube, I can see you. So, and I can hear you. Thank you for the feedback. So, as you chime in, I can, like, we can still be interactive. So, I'm super duper jazzed, y'all, that it's like on Facebook world and YouTube world. I'm so excited. Hey, Tina, how are you? I'm happy you're here. Let me know when you all pop on and let me know how you're feeling, how you're doing, or what state you're in. I'm in the state of like elation because I got this on and working. Manda's the one that's like the queen of all of these things. And she is like on point. And so I feel really excited that I just did it. Okay, and I can see it. Oh, you guys, I'm so excited right now. I can see a YouTube comment, and it's Michael Prokopiak. He's on there. Oh, y'all, this is so cool. I'm seeing you all on all the platforms. I am so excited. And Pam is with Tina. Hey, Pam. Y'all, I am just so, if y'all knew how excited I was right now, and like so beyond grateful because so I am traveling and I am not in Charlotte right now. I am in a lovely hotel room and it looks like I have the sun over me, but really it was either here or nowhere. Um, so getting hooked up on like the hotel internet, making sure you get the code in. I couldn't get the music at the same time, so we won't have music. I apologize. I acknowledge that. I'm hoping that I can figure this out. Melissa's in the house. How are you? I'm happy that you're here. Woo-hoo. Oh, yes. Y'all. So happy. Yeah, so I was able to get the internet hooked up and we're on this new space. So if you know anyone that's also, if you have friends that aren't on Facebook, shoot them a message and be like, hey, homie, all you got to do is go on YouTube. You don't even have to go on Facebook if you don't want to, which is, I think, super duper rad because not a lot of people like the Facebook. Not everyone's on that platform. So we are now able to reach a bigger, broader audience. Yeah, so excited. And I'm super jazzed about this offering, this episode, this class, this topic. Love it. Hey, Brandy, how are you? I like the good morning, good evening, good night, hello. Happy now to you. um, y'all, this is expansions. So this is the spiritual dimension of wellness that we dive into. We pick a topic and we go and we just expand our minds, we expand our hearts, our way of being in this ethereal dimension of our human aspect. I mean, it's our spirit. Like you can't even see that shit. Like you don't even know. And which makes it even more fun and expansive to dive into it and to expand. I just did a meditation before hopping on here, and it was really cool because part of it was to go as far outside of yourself and as far inside of yourself to acknowledge the oneness, to acknowledge that source, to acknowledge the is of all that is, that I am and that is outside of me. I just felt that. Like that just felt really good. So I pose this question. When you connect, right? When you connect with, and as we talked a little bit about this last week, but I want to shift it and move on and expand and dive into another area. But when you connect with spirit, with source, with the universe, where do you go to do that? How do you actually do that? That's what we did last week. We talked about like kind of like how does that feel when you connect with spirit? What I want to talk about today is like how you do that. Like how do you connect with, and I'm just going to use the word spirit or source. You can use it interchangeably with God, Jesus, Brahma, Allah, the universe, the is, the nothing, whatever words you want to use, you use your words. I'm just going to mix and mingle them because they're just words for, to me, the same thing. So hopefully while you share with me, how do you connect with source, with God, with the great mystery, with spirit? And while you type in and chime in, something that inspired this for me today was the drive. So went through, traveled the path over the weekend and then this week and seeing billboards. And billboards crack me up. God, they cracked me up. Yo, I saw billboards that were like basically, they were moral billboards, right? Hey, Nita, how are you? I'm enjoying that you're here. Thank you for tuning in. I would love to hear from you. So these billboards are very morally based, right? I saw billboards that were like a picture, is like a black and white picture of a human, and they're sitting there with their head in their hands and just, looking like, super bummed. And it said, like Jesus is the answer. And saw some other billboards that were like, oh God, what was it? I saw some that were like, okay, I don't remember exactly, but these billboards were like, what are you doing in your life? Because you could go to hell. like billboards were saying that. Those are usually in South Carolina. That's an interesting fact. I want to say hey to LaShonda. How are you? Oh, we miss you. You don't even know. We miss y'all, like the human connection. So we're doing what we can. this connection. I'm like, okay, this is the best we got. I'm doing it. I definitely miss the human interaction as well. Hey, Ariel, how are you? Insane medical deadline approaching by the second, but I'm here and I love you and your message. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. The deadline will still be there and it's just now. But I'm really happy you're here, Ariel. Yeah, it's all these billboards, and it was like Jesus for truth. Call this like 1-877 holla at your God or whatever, for the answer. For this, look to Jesus or God. Now, the way I grew up, I don't like that. Like, I didn't like that. It would it would kind of piss me off, actually. It would trigger me because the way I was brought up, God, the word God was associated with a white man in the sky behind gates that I wasn't really good enough to enter. And then when I did enter, he was going to judge me and potentially send me to hell if I ever messed up, which I did because I'm human. So, and it just didn't sit with me. So these terms of like looking for God for the answer and Jesus for the answer never sat well with me. When I started to change my perspective on spirituality and spirit, God, the universe, I maneuvered my words around it. So I didn't use the word God anymore. I didn't praise Jesus. What I did was I used the words love. I changed the word for me to agree with it, to feel good about it. I changed it to the word love. Um, Before love, it was positivity. I changed the word to positivity. Um, but when I was like living in like super dual world, positive, negative, good, bad, right, wrong. And then I just turned to like love and fear. But so it's interesting because I feel like so many times we as a human are taught to look to an outside source for peace, for acceptance, for joy. Look to an outside source. And the way I was taught in the Catholic religion was, the God was outside of me. God was never who I was. God was never a part of me. God was never inside me. God was never me. God was never the divine spark inside. Like God was never associated with me. God was bigger than me, better than me, and outside of me. That's how I was raised. So I was taught in that conditioning to look outside of myself for love, look outside of myself for peace, look outside of myself for joy, or anything, acceptance. Look outside of me for these things so that I would feel good. And it doesn't that wasn't where I really found my spiritual awakening. Actually, it wasn't outside of myself. I want to say hey to Kimberly Eubanks in the house. How are you, my dear? Says hey because I asked how y'all connect to source. She says I connect to source through my breath and intention to focus inward and release all the outward stuff. Ooh, me too. And then when I do that, I want to get back to that. And then when I do that, I then connect more with the stuff outside of myself. Isn't that interesting? I do the same thing. I connect with my breath. I start to feel my breath. Just I feel it. I'm not trying to change it, I'm not trying to maneuver it. I just become aware that I am a breathing, living being on this earth. And I connect to the magic that I am. The fact that my body holds infinite intelligence within itself. So I don't tell the blood what direction to flow. I don't tell my heart, oh, you got to keep beating. Oh, come on, heart. You got to, it does it on its own. That was a really squeaky chair. Did y'all hear that? WD-40 in the hotel room. Anyway, but that's what I do. I connect with the miraculous nature of me. When I do that, I start to feel something inside. I personally feel this like tingling. I feel this electricity. I feel this feeling of aliveness that I can't put more words to than that. And I start to lose parts of me. I start to lose my ego. I start to drop these notions of I'm not enough or I'm afraid. I start to lose these notions of judgment because I've connected to my own miraculous nature. When I do that, I see that divine, miraculous source nature in everything. And then I start to see God in everything. Hello, Sarah Catherine. I'm happy you're here. So I ask, like, how do you connect with source? I've also found that I have two thoughts right now. One of the ways that I found recently that I connect with source, with spirit, with the universe, with God, is through singing. Like, y'all, on the road trip, the yesterday portion of the drive, my partner and I were singing. We were like, want to sing? Yeah. So we sang sacred chants that translate to things like, um, I honor the divine within, that translate to, um, lead us from the darkness to the light, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from the fear of death to the knowledge of immortality, peace, peace, peace. Like these are the words that I'm singing. I'm just doing it in a different language. And we're doing that in repetition, and we become this hollow bone. We become the sound chamber for source to move through us. And then I transcend my body, that ego drops. And it's interesting, as I transcend my body, I feel more of me than I could when I'm just feeling my body. Tina says, according to National Geographic, we're actually made up of stardust. So we are truly connected to the universe. I hope. Yep. Faux show. Yes, we are. We are, y'all. How cool is that, y'all? Like, for real. Thanks for mentioning that, Tina. Like, think about this. I'm in a swivel chair. Ah. Y'all, when I get to sit in a new chair that's actually comfortable, the squeaking is really obnoxious, but it's very exciting. But y'all, think about this. We're made of earth, right? We know this. We literally came out of a human that is an earthling, so made of the elements. And what is earth? It's this floating ball or disc, depending on what you believe, this floating object in the cosmos. You've got our moon, you've got the big star that we call the sun, and you have all these planets, just planets that surround us, and all the stars and the star systems, the Pleiadian star system and the Sirius star system. Y'all, we can see that from here. If you've not checked this out, I would encourage getting the Night Sky app. It's free. And you can use this and just like scan the sky, and it shows you where all the planets and all the stars and all the things are. And it's just fantastic. Anyway, so we have all of that around us. Those are all made of elements too. We're made of that. Like, there's no elements. Well, there might be, we just haven't discovered them yet. But if so, then they would still be in us. So anyway, we are made of stars. We are made of all that the universe is. Brandy's like, I'm a star. You are a star. We are a star. We are a star. When I am sitting and just when it's dark outside and I'm looking up at the night sky and I see the stars and I see the moon and whatever planets I can see, I feel so teeny tiny. And I also feel so big. I feel so huge because I'm connecting with something bigger. My eyes are seeing the stars. Like I'm experiencing this like bath of the starlight coming down. To me, that's connecting to something bigger. And the way I was raised, and like I'm seeing on these billboards, like call one, like seriously, there was a phone number. It was like 1-877 holla at Jesus, or that really wasn't it, but it was something. And I'm like, I wonder, like, I kind of want to call it, because I wonder if you call it, if it's someone on the other line saying, look inward, what would love do? Can you connect with the earth? Can you connect with the universe? Can you breathe? Or is the other person on the other end of the line saying, well, you're wrong if you do this, and you should do that so that you will? Because to me, that's plugging into an outside of, to me, that's a false source. To me, that's a false sense of source. To me, that's some ego talking back. Tina's like, don't call it. I don't even remember the number, but I kind of wanted just to see what they say. Sarah Catherine says, we are stardust. We are golden. We are golden. We really are. I downloaded I was meditating before this, and I was downloading. had a galactivation. For those of you that do know me, you know what I mean. Um, it was a lot of golden light, actually, which is ironic because of this golden hue of light situation that I'm in. Kimberly says, I've been able to connect to source through conversations with others. You know that feeling that you get after having a really amazing conversation? Feelings like everything is going to be okay. In fact, everything is perfect. And Tina's like, yes. Yeah. I feel, thank you for sharing that and reminding us that for me, like the connecting to source, when I connect to that inner light in someone else and I just see them and I'm ever present with them and we're just having a conversation, whether it's they're sharing their story or they're telling me what they made for dinner, whatever they created, their ideas, their visions, whatever that is, when I'm just like tuned into them with a neutral perspective and like eyes wide open and eager to hear what they're saying, and they're reflecting that same back to me, or they're eager to hear, like they want to know what I'm saying and they're present with me, I feel so much connection to something bigger and I feel it in my heart, which is why I always had changed the words from like God and Jesus to love, because to me that's where that source is. It's that love that I am and that you are. It's that connecting force between beings. It's love. Hey darling, I'm happy you're here. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, like that to me is a source. Like to me, that is the God source within. It is that divine love, completely pure, unconditional, 110,000% accepting. That to me is the infinite potentiality, just poof, right out of the chest. So then it's like, so how do we connect with that? I think definitely being with people and having a conversation. So here we are, right? Going into the holiday season. COVID is pausing people's abilities to connect physically for this week holiday time and all the Christmas, New Year's, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, like that time, all that stuff. Oh, hey, Charles Quick from the YouTube. What? Happy you're here. But like all this, we've been so conditioned that we got to buy, we got to shop, we got to travel, we got to fly, we got to bust our butts, we got to work overtime. We're going to be tired. We're going to be stressed. We can't buy our partners enough because, I mean, if you look at the commercials, OMG, it's like this family and it's like this hetero partner buys this vehicle for the other hetero partner and the other hetero partner bought that person a car and they have big bows on these cars. And I'm like, who is doing that? Like who is doing that? Props to you if you are. I mean that. It's just, I don't see that. I don't see that in my neighborhood. That's for sure. But anyway, so we're conditioned to like, do, go, buy, so that we prove that we're celebrating, the winter solstice, the coming of this new Gregorian calendar year. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But to me, the cooking together, the playing games together, the sharing of stories together, they're holding each other's hands and looking in each other's eyes and saying, damn, I love you so much. God, I'm so happy you're here. To me, that's what any holiday is about. It's connecting to that something bigger. Maybe it's the family unit, the community unit, the camaraderie, the community, the tribe, whatever. So we're coming up now on this holiday season where what we've been conditioned to do isn't really working because we can't fulfill in the ways that we've been taught. Like we can't go and visit, most of us, right? So we are left in a brand new holiday season, y'all. I think we're like, for real, we are all collectively walking into a new, like never been lived before holiday season where we can actually access the something bigger, not just within me, but within each other, whether we're with each other physically, maybe it's just you and your housemate. Maybe it's you and just your immediate family or your partner or your puppy, or it's who you are with you first and foremost, number one relationship. Ah, right? But we have this opportunity on this holiday season to really connect with spirit, with source, with God, with love, because that's the medicine that's going to get us through these times of social and physical distancing with like new rules, lockdown, whatever you want to call it, in place. So now I ask, right? And if you still want to like chime in and share with me, how do you connect with source? And also, next question, like, how do you intend to connect with that inner knowing, that inner peace, that inner joy, that inner love with yourself and each other during the holidays? Like some legit, like, how you going to do this holiday, y'all? Because this is a time where a lot of people are starting to get in struggle mode. Tina says, for me, connection is most intense when random dots, events, conversation, etc., all connect. The randomness is not random. Isn't it divine? Isn't it so fantastic to see and witness and perceive and sense the patterns of life? Like, love life. And it's not random. You know, I talk to so many people and they're like, oh, it's a coincidence. And they like, in this like kind of like just blow it off kind of way. Like, whatever. It's just a coincidence. And I'm like, yes, it is literally two incidences happening at the same time. And it's beautiful. And when you start to really have this connection with the something bigger, I have something else to say and I'll get back to it. When you have this connection with something bigger, I feel like we can see so many more like pinpoints that connect. You know, it's like if you've ever had a spiritual awakening and your third eye was like, boom, open, third eye activation, pow. You start to see this thread of all the things in your life that have created a pattern for who you are now. And then you can start to see the bigger picture from the micro perspective. So it's like seeing our cells in our body. It's like we're like looking itty bitty, teeny tiny style, but then you can also feel the grandness of the size of that big. It's like being able to see these threads of your life events and what you've done to get where you are. But then also you start to see where the dots are connecting to move into who you're becoming. And that I think is extremely empowering. Then I think you're living in the now moment, connected to the divine that you are and that is all it is. Brandy says, I'm trying to reconnect with myself, so I'm not really sure how to connect. Love your honesty. Thank you so much, Brandy. For real. We have been so conditioned to not connect with ourselves. So true. So I just want to acknowledge, just in that awareness, that is going like against the social norm flow to become a force flowing as who you are and who you're becoming. So I just want to acknowledge you for the journey and where you are in this now moment, because it's extremely powerful. Just so you know. And I say, let's connect with breath. You know, I find rituals to be extremely connecting. Like, for reals. Like, I forgot. Like we mentioned earlier, connecting with breath. And I don't have my sound bowl because I thought my music was going to play. Otherwise, I would ding it right now and say, take a deep breath in. Take a deep, full breath out. Do two more with me, y'all. Breathe in and exhale. Take another big, long, luscious breath in. And as you breathe out slow, like a slow moving stream. And as you feel your breath in this slower, fuller pace, you start to feel peace. Perhaps you feel peace of mind. Perhaps you feel peace with your nervous system. Perhaps you feel peace in knowing that you have another breath on this earth. And that is the connection with self, with that I am presence. It's the connection to spirit, inspiration. Inspiration is derived from spirit in many languages. So that's how I start to connect with myself. I also will light Palo Santo. I'll light sage. I'm going to light this, but I'm not going to burn it much because y'all would, how crazy funny would that be? Or how funny would that be if the smoke alarms went off in the hotel room because of this? But it smells so good. It like gets me in the mood, right? That's kind of what I think about. Like, think about the things that would get you in the mood. You know, um, think about the things that would get you in the mood. Um, and then go there. It's almost like taking yourself on a date. Like, well, would a bath get you in the mood or a shower? And then taking that action, that ritual action, and applying it to like a purification or a connection or to love or to peace or to joy. And start to pick up these things like whenever you think about the something bigger, source, spirit, the universe, kind of give it some words. So if it's peace and joy, and what would get you in the mood? Well, I want to take a shower. Cool. So you can take a shower and you can start to feel the peace that like imagine peace coming over you with the water. Get a little joyful that you have water to take a shower with because that's such a gift. Ha! But doing the things to create rituals, I feel like is a really great way for me to connect with spirit. I'm shuffling. I meant to do this at the top of the hour, but I was so figuring out all of the computer stuff and things. I was like, oh God. So tell me, y'all, how else do you connect with spirit? The spirit within or the spirit without? Outside of self. I feel like something else that works really great is visualization. What if you envision this source of energy that you're fractaled off of? You can do this now with me if you want. If you want to take a big deep breath in and let it go. And imagine in your mind's eye the biggest loving source of energy, pure, unpolarized, completely vibrant, light energy that emits sound waves that sounds like angels singing, like the most beautiful orchestra on the planet in the cosmos. All the joy, all the focus of this love and this energy that you are fractaled off of, that you are a seed from that. You are a piece of that. You are a son of that. You are a daughter of that. You are in the likeness of that because you are that. And let that remembrance and that visualization come to you, perhaps in your third eye. Perhaps it goes directly to the center of your heart. And wherever it lands, let it land and let it expand. Let it feel all over you. Let it fill the insides of you with a tingling sensation, with a feeling of aliveness, of vibrancy, of this pure light. Let it dissolve the hardness, the hardships, the struggles, the traumas. Let it give us strength so that we can feel our emotions and become the resilient ones that we are destined to be. And breathe into that. Let that flow through your veins. Let that flow through your nose and your sinuses and your mouth and your throat, all the way into your lungs. Let that be what fuels and connects you, to source, if you want. So how else do y'all connect? How do we connect with source? So many ways. Pull the card. That's the one. I'll be reading in a moment. Just setting it aside. So how else? How else can we connect? You know, if I have every year spent the holidays beating myself purple, trying to get all the gifts purchased, you know, planning the trip and who am I going to do this with? And blah, 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 blah. I've lost sight of like the meaning of this season, you know, community, creativity, reverence, love, all those things that every religion ever has used as the focus, you know, honoring the shift in the cosmos with the solstice. But like, if I don't have all that to distract me, then what do I have left this holiday season? Me. And something bigger than me, source. I feel like I mentioned this yesterday about the devices, you know, and how like we stay so plugged in to the devices. It's like a false source. We get on the device to feel good. We do get on the device to punish ourselves, to give ourselves a fix, to distract ourselves, to run away, to dissociate. We do these things with devices. It becomes a false source. And I think that we're ready to actually connect with a bigger source, the spirit within, the spirit of each other. You know, being able to, like Kimberly was saying, you know, having a conversation with someone, you know, and even what Tina was saying about, you know, random conversations, and that there's that sense of connection. You know, you leave there and you feel like you're buzzing. You know, it's like everything about you is just online. Everything's aligned and feeling good, feeling fly, feeling grounded and just connected. It takes love to do that. It takes, I think, intention to do that. I think it takes mindfulness to do that. And I think it takes guts. I find that, you know, on this journey, just seeing people, you know, in gas stations, you know, and we're all wearing masks and, you know, no one is connecting anymore. You know, I feel like people haven't been connecting for a while now. Almost like, oh, I can't see the face that's smiling, so I'm just gonna not do it, you know. And you know, everywhere I've been going with my mask on and their masks on, you know, I'm smiling, so my face has this number right there, so my eyes look like, oh, I can't see anything. And then they ask me immediately, you know, how can I help you? And I'm like, how are you? Like, how are you doing? And then all of a sudden it's like they come back. It's like literally like they do a little shake off, almost like, what? You just snapped me out of the matrix. Oh, I'm great. How are you? I'm like, oh, I'm great. I'm having a good day. It's a beautiful day. Woo! Can I have a receipt for pump 7? You know? But y'all, I think we get to really remember that like we're all spirits in a human body. Tina says if we can connect, we become more secure in ourselves. If we run from the connection, we sacrifice ourself and our self-esteem. We sure do. Dear God, we do. As soon as I neglect, really, me, then I am sacrificing me. Then like what's the point? If I like what's the point? You know, just to be plugged into some energy sucking system called the matrix or the patriarchy or the system, just to pour my energy into someone else's greed lined pocket. Like what? And I did that for most of my life. So no judgment, obvi. That was like so my MO for most of my life. And my self-esteem was like in the toilet, self-loathing all day, every day. But then it was like when I started to really connect with love, with spirit, with source, and now when I see these damn billboards that say like God is the answer, I'm like, love, yeah, love is actually the answer. It really is. Jesus for the truth. Like love really is the truth. Yeah, that's accurate. And old me was so judgmental of like those signs because they were just so reminiscent of the judgy spaces that I had lived in. But yeah, I love what you said, Tina. If we can connect, we become more secure in ourselves, right? Like you can't not. It's kind of like, y'all, have you ever had a dream where you forgot to put your pants on? Or is that just me? Like you're in the dream and you're like, everything's good and you're like standing up giving a speech or something. And next thing you know, you look down and you're like, oh God, I don't have on pants. And it's like that dream of like, oh God, right? It's like that. I got so sidetracked in this whole like image of I know so many people who've had dreams like that. But it's like that forgetting. And then when you realize, oh God, I forgot that I'm love, or that like love is the answer. Startles ourselves. It's like the people at the gas station that just get startled when I acknowledge their human existence, But when you look down and you realize that you have your pants on, you feel more secure, right? Like, could you imagine if you're in this reality, right? You're up there, you're giving a speech, and you look down, you don't have pants on. Blech, oh dear. And then you look down again, and you do have your pants on. You're gonna be like, all right, okay, I got this now. You feel more secure. You feel more connected to like confidence, to a higher self-esteem. You know, y'all. It's holiday. And I think that we really get to like for reals focus on spirit, focus on the stars, focus on the the biggerness of us and the biggerness that each of us are, the I am and that you are. Like y'all, on December 21st, it's the solstice proper, and um, Saturn and Jupiter are going to be so close together, like it hasn't happened in like 800 years. So you probably weren't alive to see it last time. Probably not going to see it in the next time. Highly encourage getting outside and looking up. It should be to the right of the moon if you're, you know, in the North Americas. Anyway, because that's where they are right now. And they're really close together already. But like seeing stuff like that and this magic that just pours down to me, man, that's humbling AF. Like for real. Like connecting with that biggerness. So how else do you all connect with spirit, with source, with love? How do you connect with love? How do you connect with love? It's funny how like I can talk to some people and if I said, how do you connect with God? They're going to be like, well, this is what I do. And I have others that are going to be like, I'm atheist and you cry. Like that's been the response at me. But I feel like most of us can be okay with the word love, So, how do you connect with love? I'm curious. Any other ways, tips, tricks, hacks, rituals, practices, remembrances, doings, mantras that work for you? I remind myself. You would think that's funny. I have so many tattoos. None of them say love. They all are like symbolic of love, but none of them say love. Puppies, like puppies are a really good way to connect with source, with love, unless they bark a lot. Just kidding. We were just at someone's house and they had a dog, so cute. And this dog was barking at my partner like a lot and it wouldn't stop and it was hilarious. And it was loud. Just saying. So I want to read this card, and if you all want to chime in more, I would love to hear and see what you all have to say. Um, just makes me think of this time of year. People having a hard time. People getting sick, yo. I think now's a really good time to connect with love, to bring us feelings of peace. Because if you know someone that's like sick, or if you're ill and you're not feeling well, it's real easy to get worried and be weighed down and have a challenge in like finding the light, like the lightness in your step. It's hard to maybe find love and acceptance during some really challenging times, you know? So usually what we do is we would drug and distract ourselves, you know? I'm just going to binge on all the Netflix for the next 2 months. I'm going to eat my face off for the next 2 months. I'm going to drink a lot for the next 2 months. I'm going to ignore people that are reaching out to me for the next 2 months. I'm going to do self harm for the next 2 months. I think now's the time to really turn to love so that we can cultivate inner peace, inner love, this inner sanctuary of the divinity that we are, so that we can move through these next few months with more grace and joy and ease, because the life is going to keep happening around us. So, the card that I pulled, so this is a wisdom deck that Georgie Nakima, if you don't know her, Google her. She is a Charlotte artist, and I adore all that she just. I mean, like, look at that, like, y'all, isn't that just gorgeous? Georgie Nakima, Nakima, and Kim Barker did the writings on the back. So this one is the Sun card. It says, "It's no cliche. Laughter is contagious, like a yawn. Laughter spreads from one person to the next. You may be experiencing a time where pushing out a laugh seems forced. By simply curving the sides of your mouth upward, you send a signal to the rest of your body to cheer up. Laughter is deep within the soul, laughter deep within the soul is freeing and cathartic, as it allows your breath to connect with the world. You have the power to bring yourself to a place of contentment, and it doesn't take digging too deep to tickle your inner child. The reason will be there for you to unpack when you're ready. The darkest times live in our minds. You are safe to set them free, to create space for your authentic truth to fill your mind with hope again. Hope is like the sun. You cannot see it if you don't look up. Harness the sun's radiant energy, even on a cloudy day, to warm your bones and lift your spirit. You need not look to the root. For now, look up and bring your awareness to the action of a simple smile, knowing you are not doing it for anyone else. Your smile for you. Shine while you rise, rise while you shine." That's what the card said. I feel like that's just like, and scene. Like that just resonates so much for me, because just that, like that. You know, this is a time where laughter may not be the easiest thing to come by. So that's like that joyful, radiant source, that light. You know, sometimes it's almost like a fake it till you make it kind of thing. And it's like, okay, well, I'll smile. And I know that no one can see me because of these damn masks, but I'm still going to offer the feeling of a smile. I'm going to let that energy exude outside of all that I am to connect with that light, that joyful human being that's in front of me that may not seem to be joyful, that may seem to be a complete grumble butt and sourpuss. Hell, it may be me that's a total grumble butt and sourpuss. But I still deserve to feel that radiant, joyful energy of laughter, of a smile. And to me, that's one of the biggest ways to connect with source, with spirit. And y'all know if you've ever had like one of those moments where you're like the irony of something really good happening and y'all, the universe is just hilarious. Like for real. It's almost like universe got jokes on you. I just envision, like all of the light beings, whatever you call them, just having a grand old time and laughing at us having this human experience of duality, of polarization. And then I start to be like, why can't I laugh about it too? I mean, yeah, like some stuff is craptastic. And I can still laugh about it. I can still breathe through it. I can still connect with the potential that I am, that I've never lived into yet, that I haven't lived into my fullest potential yet. None of us have lived into our fullest potential yet, y'all. None of us have. We are all currently exploring the infinite potential that we all are. It is an eternal exploration because it's an infinite space of potentiality. Why not? Why not smile about it? Why not breathe fully through it? Why not pull a card and light some Palo Santo and sing and dance and play and stop the excessive plugging into outside of self sources to feel good? Putting down the pipe, putting down the bottle, putting down the remote, putting down the distractions, putting it down and turning it back inward to feel that within and to turn it outward in a bigger way, right? To the stars, to the cosmos, to the earth, to see all that is and to feel all that is. Love. It's all love. So it's Tuesday here, and we have this Thanksgiving holiday in 2 days. It's a time for gratitude, time for coming together and nourishing ourselves, right? And the way this year is playing out, it's not like any other Thanksgiving. So we can just make it our own and connect with what we can connect with. So maybe that's FaceTime, maybe that's watching PRN, like replays, because nobody's going to be like offering live stuff on Thursday, but like allowing ourselves to connect, going for a walk, doing something that, although in lieu of what we can't do something that lights us up. That's my encouragement. And something that may light you up, tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the creative time with me. That will just be on Facebook. So it won't be on the YouTube. So if you want to tune into that, I think you might like it. And if so, get some paper and writing utensils. I think you would enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it anyway. It'll get your vibe super high, y'all. Like my intention tomorrow morning is to like raise the frequency through doing something a little creative. So So how are y'all feeling? I know we did a little bit of like the meditations, like kind of visualizations throughout. So hopefully you're feeling well and perhaps inspired to try connecting in different ways. Like if the way you connected with God before was at church and maybe you can't go to church anymore, does that mean that you don't deserve to connect with the God? Nope. It means that you get to find new ways. You know, if you felt that feeling of unity and tribe when you would visit your family over the holidays and you can't, you get to create new ways, infinite ways. Feel yourself. Take yourself on a date of self love. Breathe. Tina says a lot to think about. It is. And there's no wrong way. That's the cool thing. Like there's no like wrong way to connect with spirit. And sometimes I connect with spirit and I'm like flabbergasted and I'm like, whoa. And then sometimes I'm like looking. If I'm looking, I can't. It's like when you're looking for your keys and you're like, I can't find it. And as soon as you stop, they're like, oh, they're in my pants. Basically. So I say to tap into the connection of feelings of peace and joy. Like the card says, smile, get in the sunshine, get in the sunshine. Tina, I would love to share my story. I feel like it's so funny you say that, Tina, because I feel like it's just like my life. And so it's not boring, but it's my life. I've lived it. It's like whatever. But thank you for saying that. I really don't know how to share it. I could write it down, but dear God, that would take forever. Unless I spoke it out. I could do that. Anyway. So have fun on this night, y'all. Breathe with yourself, be with yourself, smile in the mirror. If you haven't smiled, y'all, here's your homework. If before tomorrow at 10. Here's your homework. When we're done in like a minute, because I'm already at 7, but when I tune off, whatever, you know what I mean? When we're done, go into a mirror and smile. Notice the way your eyes crinkle. Notice the way your face does the shapy, shifty thing. Look at yourself and let yourself see you be happy. Let yourself see you smile. Let yourself feel what that feels like to see you smile. You deserve to see you smile. The world deserves to see you smile. We just have these damn masks and can't. Give yourself that gift. Let God see you smile through your own eyes, please. All right, y'all. I love you so much. I'm so grateful for your presence and your patience while I was getting all the online things. Don't forget to tell your peeps to subscribe to the Promise Resource Network Facebook page because we're going to be doing a lot of classes via this platform. So we'll still be on Facebook, obviously. So take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll see you all tomorrow at 10. And know that you are so loved. So I'll see you all later. Peace out, y'all. Bye. I don't even know how to turn this off.